So it seems we made it through the 20-degree drop. It's about 2 days. It actually went down. I read 7 degrees. With the wind chill, it was 0. So I actually brought in my oil heater just in case for whatever little water that we do have, and kind of kept it near it so it wouldn't freeze. But it wasn't too bad. Overnight was worse. Usually when you hit 0, a good 24 hours is all you need to for things to go left on you, so to speak. So, but the good news is we did really good. And didn't get a video out yesterday because I was doing a number of things. But one thing I did manage to do was get the gas hooked up. In the last video, I was discussing how the alignment was off. So we did a jog as a 245s, and then that gave us kind of what we wanted. And I said about 2 inches off the heater, roughly anywhere from that, just enough that I can turn the union here. So we came out pretty good on that. One thing I was going to comment on one of the last videos I was talking about older things and newer things, where I had mentioned I learned to do DWV with cast iron and molten and poured joints, which was a pretty good while ago, but not too long ago, but long enough. And also in gas, what I was mentioning before, that years ago, here we go with the old stories, the fittings were much better. Now, these are, I didn't look what company is up, but I see Vietnam on it. And I really don't care where fittings come from. I kind of wish that we would make them here. We still have, as far as I know, there's a couple that I think Ward is one. I'm not positive of all of them that are made here. And the reason I'm complaining about that is the fittings a long time ago, when they were made, they were true. So if you had a T, the threads went true. Nowadays, for some reason, it's a total nightmare that you're trying to get a fitting that is true. And what I mean by, when I make my unions, so I'll do this in a vise, and I know I'm pretty good because I can spin that like that, and I know I'm aligned. I will make 2 sections of the pipe, this side and this side, and I'll lay it in a vise, just tighten the union by hand once the pipe's in there, and then I'll roll it in the vise just to see if it's true. And it's hard. It's like 50-50 hit. A lot of the fittings, you expect them to be a little off, 16th, 8th here. And it happens. Where it really gets on your nerves is, let's say you're trying to turn a 20-foot length of pipe, or 21, as you know, they come in 21s. And you're trying to get the thing started. You'll have to go up, down, left, right. I mean, I've had to veer off as much as a foot to get the thing started, only to find out that, doggone it, it wasn't square. Why I'm talking about that is because when you're measuring for your sections and you're cutting them, if it's off, and it's off, and with steel, it's unforgivable. You don't get a break. There's no play. So what I normally do for, back to Navion talk, is I can lift this, see that? And that's what I want, because the Navion inlet here is aluminum. Don't ask me why, but I have seen guys take 1 wrench, put it on this fitting, turn it, and just snapped this right out of the heater. Why? I don't know. We were always taught to use 2 wrenches, no matter what. No matter what you're doing, 2 wrenches. Hold on to it. Of course, these have flats on them. That's a hex. So you'd hold it. I was using this, which is just a crescent, and my trusty 14 there to get it on. The other thing I do normally in Navion's, this nipple coming out is usually a 3 or 3.5. If you notice, it's at a little angle there. But on this heater, it is kind of straighter. The reason I do 3.5 there, it gives me the distance I want. And also because of the fitting story I was just talking about, you know, this one's Vietnam. When the fitting is not true, if you have 3.5 here, you can angle it, move it back and forth to try to help yourself align, especially when you're doing stuff like 45s. If you're doing straight, it's bad enough. If you had 45s in the mix, it gets harder, but it also gets easier because with the 245s, that gives you 2 more adjustments that you can move the pipe left or right. I usually try to keep this level. I actually put a level on it when I'm doing it. And if I can get it level that way, all the way around, and then rotate it, and then the level bubble starts moving, it tells me that this fitting, or, you know, that usually it's the union that you're in, is not true. Could be the T. It could be anything in this line. It could be the valve. And something to mention on that, guys and gals, don't over tighten these valves. Don't over tighten the union. You can whack a union on too hard. There's a brass piece inside where it mates and actually goes so hard that you'll make it crooked. It could be straight, and same thing with the valve because they're brass or mixed bronze brass, you know, some kind of alloy mix. You screw that in there too tight, and you can actually throw off your center line by over tightening a valve or a union, any fitting for that fact. But valves because they're brass, unions because they have a brass insert on the seat. And I've seen guys, again, with my old stories, drive the insert right out of the union. How they kept a daggone job after that, I don't know. I've seen guys break this, you know, the ball valves come in 2 pieces. I've seen them drive it so hard, they'll push this right out. The other reason that makes them do that, when they're threading and making threads, they will over thread the pipe. So here's one I was using as my test piece. When you're threading pipe, I usually let it go to the end of the die, and then I'll have 1 thread sticking out. 1/2 to 1. That'll give you close to what you'll see in a factory. If you have 2 or 3 threads sticking out, you have to remember that the die threads on a taper. That's how it is able to seal, because the end of the nipple is not as wide as the rest. I'll show you again on here. So when you're looking at that, I'm putting it back, you can see the taper. The end here is narrower than it is here. So as it goes in, it's like a wedge. That's where you're getting your seal besides your sealant. So I got that one lined up, and this one, same deal. I can spin. So now I'm doing is adjusting things, and come back with another video. I'm going to put a support up here because of what I was saying, that I want to be able to lift this. So that means there's no pressure on this. And when I'm done, what I do is I put my bracket there, and I just give it enough to just squick it up off, so that I will tighten my bracket. So I'll get about 1/8 here. And usually that's enough, 1/16 to 1/8. I know there's no weight on that piece. So there you go. All right, we're going to have another video. We got the drip legs to put in. These are loose, they're by hand. And didn't put this one in yet. Maybe I'll use this for the drip leg since it's already available. All right. 'Cause, 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 'cause And that's it for the gas for the Navions. We'll probably come back with one video. We're probably now going to move to the intake and exhaust, which goes that way. All right, long-winded video. See ya.